podium is good, but I was expecting more from you. We should have won.
Hello there everyone, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to our Tour de France 2020 playthrough with Team Ineos. Today it is time for stage number 5. As you can hear, just in the last stage, we finished in third. We got a podium, but apparently that wasn't enough. But in my opinion, it was, because there was only 2 guys above us, evidently. And Degen, who had a brilliant stage, managed to finish 1 minute and 53 seconds ahead of absolutely everyone. So we didn't really lose that much time in retrospect, particularly not with Grant Thomas, Egan Bernal and Kwiatkowski. Yes, Chris Froome downwards didn't do too well. But we can make that up on stage number 5. Just a quick reminder of the classification then. So in the general classification, Grant Thomas is into the top 5 now. 1 minute and 17 behind everybody else. Carapaz has fallen down a little bit, but Bernal, Froome and Kwiatkowski are really where they are expected to have been, to be honest. Stage 2 wasn't great for Bernal. That's why a lot of our guys are a long way back from where they should be. But we're absolutely fine at the moment, in my opinion. I mean, stage 2 might be irreversible in terms of the effects that had, but we've got one man up there at least in Grant Thomas. Best climbers, Kwiatkowski's in the top 10. He had a very good stage number 4, very confident at the front of the breakaway. Carapaz in the top 10 there. Grant Thomas in the top 10 of the points classification. Young riders, Bernal's in 4th and Gegenhardt's in number 9. Team classification, we lead that, and in the competitivity, I bloody hate that word every time I have to say it. Gegenhardt leads that with Kwiatkowski in number 12. So, without any further ado, let's get into stage number 5 of the Tour de France.
The main thing to grasp today is that the route is flat and without any difficulties. But be on your guard, as the wind can lead to bordures. You'll have to be on your guard and not get caught out, because this is the sort of stage where you can lose a lot of time on the general classification. Beware of the wind. Have a good stage.
Hello and welcome to all. The road followed by the riders today leaves little doubt about the scenario that will unfold. In the absence of any major difficulty, the sprinters' teams will chase down the baroudeurs, who in turn will try to hold them off for as long as possible in order to hope for a win.
Okay then, so the start of stage number 5. Nothing too complicated about today's stage, just got to stay in there. As you can see, it's pretty much a flat stage going downhill all the way towards that first sprint. There's then a 3rd class climb that we'll be looking to target with guys like Kwiatkowski and potentially Gegenhardt. A 4th class climb, as well as the intermediate sprint at the end of the race. So we've got a little bit of a chance potentially to get into the top 10. It seems PELOTON has made a breakaway for the ISN team. Not exactly sure who, what team that is ISN, but as you can see, he troubles the general classification by absolutely no means. So, a fairly simple stage here today. Probably not going to be a long video. We're just going to stay steady, because there's not really much to fight for like the last stage. But we'll listen to what the team manager's got to say.
The short climb, 10 kilometers from the finish, could shake up the peloton. Be alert to the wind as well. It's unlikely, but it could confuse things.
This should be interesting. So, as said, there's not really much going for the rest of the race until we get to the second half. Galloping's gone for it as well. He's got a long climb to try and get... well, not a long climb, but a long climb in terms of time to try and get up to Pollitt at the front. Are they both on the same team? No, they're not.
The breakaway threatens the overall standings. He's decided to get his guys to put their foot down.
Interesting. Well, we're exactly at the front of the peloton. Demarchi has gone as well. And we're just going to test the water. Shall we test the water? We will get... let's get let's get Dennis to follow them. Let's test the water and get him to follow them. Don't really want to be at the front of this peloton, really. Is he going to go for it? There he is. Dennis has gone for it. Again, there's no harm in giving it a try, trying to get one man up there. If the breakaway works, then that's fantastic. But at the moment, not really much going on. So we're probably going to accelerate quite a while through this race unless anything happens. As I've said before, Again, there's not really much going to go on in this race. It's just about keeping calm and just trying to keep cool. Well, I said we'd fast forward quite a bit, and that's exactly what we have done. Now, Dennis leads the breakaway. There's a breakaway of 6. We've also tried to test the waters with Gegenhardt, who's in a group of his own, a minute behind. But just over 100 kilometres to go here. Absolutely nothing special going on. But Gegenhardt about a minute behind this breakaway. We were told by the team boss, and it's no real surprise that, to be honest, these flat stages don't really harbour any surprise, although it was said that there could well be a surprise later on with that wind that appears about halfway between the first and second climb of the day. But Gegenhardt's starting to gain a little bit of ground, so if we've got 2 of our guys up here, that would be quite good. I mean, if in the freak possibility that the breakaway do indeed win the stage, then Gegenhardt and Dennis can be up there. But the rest of our guys, the big men now, I think Kwiatkowski's putting himself in it maybe as sort of 3rd or 4th priority. But ultimately, we've got Gegenhardt who's pretty good at sprints, so it'd be good for him to catch up to these guys. I think there are 10-20 points available in this sprint, so I mean, Gegenhardt's guaranteed at least 7th. Again, Dennis is guaranteed at least P6 unless anything dramatic changes. So we'll fast forward till we get to the sprint. So as you can see, 4.5 kilometres away now from the intermediate split. No need to start going too aggressive yet. Now, Gegenhardt is falling back a bit, so the intention is for Gegenhardt to get some good points in this sprint. 9 points it'll be for him, so that'll be good to see, unless he drops down significantly. I hope that doesn't happen. But as long as he gets 9 points, then after that, we'll just tell him to wait for the peloton. Okay, 1.5 kilometres to go until we can potentially get 20 points for Dennis here. Again, not really what we're targeting, but it certainly won't hurt. Again, we'll try and get the points. Gegenhardt's pretty much guaranteed the points, you would think. So we're just going to go for it here. I think we're not quite going to get to the top. But we'll get 3rd, I think. Come on, over the line. Oh, 5th, unlucky. Unlucky there. So back to Gegenhardt we go. Let's just change to him. Make sure he gets the 9 points. Which I think he'll do. So we'll probably focus on Geraint Thomas. I know that Gegenhardt probably started to struggle there. So after the intermediate sprint, for goodness sake, there's all bloody work going on outside now. Could you possibly imagine? Listen to that racket. They are accelerating, ready for this sprint. Now, this is something we could do with targeting with Geraint Thomas. But it's going to be a struggle to get to the top of the sprint. Looks like Gegenhardt will pick himself up 9 points, though. This is good, though. This looks decent. Don't know where we're going to be. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Just try and make as many places as possible. Ah, only 16th. That's a shame. But Dennis gets himself 5th, as we knew. Did Gegenhardt get himself any points there? Oh, I think he might well have done. Gegenhardt, yes, just the singular point. And actually, Geraint has now managed to put himself above. So, we'll just get Gegenhardt and Geraint Thomas to start going a little bit in the top 8. Again, we've got the 6 strong composition at the front. As you can see, Dennis is the man that threatens the overall standings the most. But not really many in the points. But in terms of point standings for this, we've got Geraint in 7th. We've got Van Aert in 2nd, so he must have got some decent points there. But again, I'll see you guys when we get to the first climb of the day. But as I said, nothing really too interesting going on here. Chris Froome getting in there as well. And the peloton of 45 riders. Luckily, I think all of our lot are in the peloton. There's quite a way back to that group of 82. But this is looking absolutely fine at the moment. So no drama here at the moment. Let's even pick some points upon the climb. So we enter the first climb of the day. The peloton is now grouped itself back together. Unfortunately, Gegenhardt has managed to exert himself too much. We do take a risk really by putting him up there. But let's have a look in the mountain stats. I think... which one is the mountain? I think it's that polka dot one. I don't think anyone's really too bothered about this in this group. But seeing as there's 2 points to fight for, we will bloody well fight for them. There's 6 of us in this group. It's a 3rd category climb, which means that there's 2 points on offer for first and 1 point available for second. So we might as well certainly go for this. Got a little bit of a feed to take advantage of here. Just over 1 kilometre to go. We'll go over about 0.7 to go, I think. But we lead that at the moment. That's good to see. So let's go. Try and get to the top first. It's going to be tricky. I don't think we're going to do it, unfortunately. No, not this time. Oh, well. Oh, hang on. Oh, just over it in third. That's a shame.
Watch out. You're not going to be able to attack for much longer.
That was close, but not quite.
He's in trouble. It's not sure that he'll be there for the sprint.
Oh, dear. Crash Chevrier has been dropped. Well, that is not good to see. Castro Viaggio starting to struggle now. Get some blue gel down here. But the rest of the guys are in this peloton group, so that should be absolutely fine. One more climb left today, a fourth category climb. I don't think these 6 in the breakaway will do anything particularly, but I think Dennis has at least got a good chance to finish well here. So again, it's not going to be the most interesting stage, just a flat stage. Not much going on today, but let's see how we get on when we get to the last climb. Well, obviously the penultimate climb. There's not a climb at the end, is there? No, that's right. It's just a sprint at the end. But I'll see you guys when we get to the climb. So it's interesting, in this zone here, we are exposed to the wind. Not exactly sure what that's going to mean. So we've got to stay up front, apparently. The peloton is starting to decrease the gap. But not really much going on at the moment. We're not too far away from that last climb, though. Well, this is fascinating. The wind has clearly changed something because Chris Froome has dropped back as well as Castro Viejo, but the rest of us are in there. Just going to protect our leaders at the moment. That's important, I think, during this stage. But we'll keep a good focus. But it seems a few of our guys have dropped back. Chris Froome as well. Just stick to the wheels in front. And as you can see, Gegenhardt is absolutely out of this. But we're just going to tell him to persist smoothly. And hopefully he shouldn't end up too far behind. But it is over for him today. We're not looking for the main classification with Gegenhardt at the end of the day. But it's looking okay at the moment. Any updates and I'll let you know. So 1 point on offer here for the mountains classification. On this last climb of the day, the peloton is getting quite close to us leaders, but Gallopin's also going to enter the breakaway, it seems now.
Watch out for him. He's the best puncher in the breakaway.
But that one guy's gone for it. I don't think we're really too concerned about this point. We'll definitely try. We'll just try and follow the guys in front. It isn't going to hurt. We certainly might as well have a go. It ain't going to hurt here. Could get a point. Don't want to blow up before the top. Hermans has got something to say about that, though. He's right behind us. He's got the momentum. Don't know if we're going to get there at the top. That's not my concern.
Launch the mountain sprint. Here's the positions over the last climb.
We're 15 kilometres from the finish, and it looks like the Baroudeurs' gamble paid off today. With a deficit of over 2 minutes, the peloton seems beaten.
Well, this is interesting. Apparently the peloton has been beaten here. Very interesting. Well, we'll stay on board for the rest of the duration of the race because ultimately there's not been that much that's gone on today. Very interesting, though. The peloton seems beaten. I think, can we tell our guys to ride hard? We have to set a high tempo here just to see we don't lose too much. Tell Froome and Castro Viejo to try and catch the group in front. And hopefully we should reduce the gap. But Dennis could be maybe on for the stage win here, it seems. The three of us way ahead of anybody else. But as you can see, none of us really affecting the main standings at the moment. But Dennis could move up quite a bit in the standings. Be very interested to see at the end. But there's still a while to go yet. I don't believe the peloton is completely beaten. But a long way to make up 2.5 minutes. So we won't stay on board actually throughout. We'll go to about 8 kilometres out and then see what the status is there. It's certainly not over. 8 kilometres to go. The peloton's got a gap of just over 2 minutes. We still want to set a high tempo. Try and catch up to this breakaway. Obviously, Dennis is in there. It'd be great if he did do well, but equally, it's not all about Dennis. But 5.5 kilometres to go. We might just have this, you know. We might have a chance for the stage win with Dennis. We haven't got any feed left, though, so we just need to be careful of that.
5 kilometres for the lead riders. The stage winner is surely amongst them.
Well, this would be fantastic. Our first serious chance of winning a stage. It's all well and good to say, well, we could have all gone, but ultimately we didn't. So we've set a high tempo in the peloton. That's all we can do. Demarschi, who was the secondary breakaway, has gone back into that group. We'll try and tell the Chris Froome group to try and set a high tempo as well. And Castroviaggio, not why not, doesn't hurt. Ride to catch the group in front. And the same for Theo Gegenhardt as well. But this is looking good for us. Just over a kilometre above the peloton. And some really strong points that Dennis could get here for the sprint. But there's movement apparently at the front of the peloton. I'll tell you what, it might just be worth attacking with our guys. It might be worth attacking. We're obviously going to focus on the leaders, but I think if we get a good attack going between the four of us, perhaps there could be a chance. You can see Bernal's doing pretty well. The rest of our guys should be up there as well. Oh no! Geraint Thomas has fallen. Oh no! Our main guy, remember? Our main man. Oh. We'll tell Kwiatkowski to wait for Geraint Thomas. But Carapaz, you're going to have to attack. Oh, that's gutting. That is really gutting. Man! Obviously, he's our leading man in the overall standings. But he's okay for now. Roglic has fell as well. The yellow jersey man has fallen. But Bernal is doing well here. Bernal's coming up here, which is brilliant. There's a massive collective fall there. But there's a kilometre left in this race. Can we win the stage? We'll obviously look at the rest of the guys, but we've got a chance here. Dennis at the front. Come on! Right. Yes! We've won the stage! We win the stage with Dennis. That's fantastic to see. We'll control Bernal at the end of this stage to try and make as much time as possible. This could be a real chance for Bernal. Real chance, but he's not really got the legs, unfortunately. He's run out of energy. But still, this would be a good place to finish. Over the line. We come over the line. In the top 10. Gonna have to have a look how we get on in the rest of the stage. A bit confusing what's going on at the moment. We finished with a few riders, but Geraint Thomas has really started to fall back. But again, he didn't even consume his feed. That's the annoying thing. Finishes in the top 30. Alright, how's everybody else done? Gegenhardt. We'll try and do the best for Chris Froome, just to try and finish the least amount of time back from the front. Consume our feed. Don't know why this hasn't been done earlier. Really don't. Just consume all of it. And then just go. We're going to have to go here. With our Chris. Every second counts. And there we go over the line with Chris Froome. So Gegenhardt, Castroviaggio, we'll try and get him over the line as well. Every second counts here. It's been a very bizarre stage. Such a pity we didn't get to see that crash. It affected to Geraint Thomas. It seemed to affect a lot of riders. We're going to pretty much blow up, unfortunately, at the end here. But we'll do okay. We'll get over the line. And the last man will be Gegenhardt, who's really struggled in this stage. But, well, we'll have to see how the standings look after that. Gegenhardt has done absolutely disastrously today. Really a shame. But Geraint Thomas, our main man, has fallen. The yellow jersey man has obviously fallen as well. So does this give somebody like Bernal a route back into the race? But our first stage win ever. That's excellent to see. At least I think we won the stage. The breakaway won it. You know, hindsight would say, well, we could have had all our men in that breakaway, but we didn't. And there we go. There he is, Dennis. Get in, the stage winner. Brilliant. Stage victory in stage 5. Went for it. There's only 3 of us at the front at the end. And we won our first stage. Maybe not the main man we'd expect to win the stage. But the things happen like that sometimes. The breakaway has won it. A bit of a shock there. And we'll have to see how that affects the overall standings. For the Astana team, who is this? Leading the general classification, it is not the man who had it before. In fact, I don't even recognise that name at being in the top 10. The yellow jersey goes to Fuglsang. That's a bit of a wordy one, a bit of a confusing one to say. But someone else, let's see who's leading another classification. This has really turned it right on its head, especially the intermediate sprints and all that sort of stuff. I know Van Aertes, I've heard of him before. But goodness me, there was a big fall in the pack. It affected Grant Thomas just as we were making an attack. I think a good decision to make an attack with Kwiatkowski and with Egan Bernal. Obviously great for Dennis. Is it Dennis? I'm sure it was Dennis. Is that his name? I've just completely forgotten. How dare he. Pogacar, though, takes the young rider classification. And let's have a look at what our team boss has got to say at the end of that. A little bit unfortunate more than anything, I think.
Huge congratulations for this win, guys. Our chances of victory were virtually nil. This is an outstanding performance. You beat all the favourites.
Well, there we go. They seem to be pleased. Gegenhardt was not classified. Wow. That's terrible for him. But Kwiatkowski and Bernal finished below a minute behind. I mean, it wasn't too bad for Grant Thomas in the end. But he has lost valuable time. Obviously, Carapaz went to help him. And Chris Froome, Castro Viejo and Gegenhardt didn't do very well there. Best climber, though, absolutely nothing there. Points classification. Dennis gets 61 points in the points classification, of course. A big fat 50 for winning the general classification. I thought that Gegenhardt managed to get a point in the points classification, but maybe not. In fact, I'm sure he did. Maybe because he wasn't classified. Maybe that took off him. Young rider classification. Bernal won that today. Team Ineos won the team classification. And Dennis is third in that compatibility. So the interesting thing is here, how is that affected the cumulative standings? General classification then. And oh, it must have been P2. I apologise, Fuglsang. I'd never heard of him before, but pardon me, he was second in that classification. So, Grant Thomas falls back slightly to 6th place, 2 minutes 10 out. I mean, Gegenhardt is now on the not classified list. I don't think he... Oh, no, 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 no. I don't know what OT means, but I think Gegenhardt could be out of the Tour de France altogether. He was our main man, particularly in this classification here. But it seems that he's out of it altogether. So let's just quickly go through it. So general classification. Thomas moves down to 6th after that fall. Carapaz in 12th place. Remains where he is. Bernal, though, moves to 15th. Moves up 7 places. We're going to need a big swing, as we have had throughout, for Egan Bernal to make anything up. But we're trying at the end of the day. We've made up positions with him. Kwiatkowski made up some ground as well into 17th place. And Dennis, of course, made up a huge amount by going into 26th. Froome, 29. And Castro Viejo is a long way out in 63rd. But is Gegenhardt the first man not to be classified? Really gutting after those first few good stages. But it just seems to be one step too far today getting into attack. So Gegenhardt, Hurt and Hansen all out. Best climbers. Kwiatkowski stays where it is. Not really a climbing stage there. Points classification though. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look who's in 5th. Moving up from 47th place all the way up to 5th was Dennis. Absolutely outstanding. Grant Thomas moves back slightly into 10th. Kwiatkowski into 25th. But obviously with sprints at the end of stages, it's really something that can change massively quickly. Young riders, Bernal in 4th. And then we lead the team classification. We won the stage. Ah, right. Gegenhardt finished outside the time limit. So Gegenhardt, I believe, is out of the Tour de France. That is a huge shame. Especially after some of the potential he showed early on. But Bernal, Grant Thomas have recovered fully. Dennis might have to have a bit of a breather after that. But all our riders gained a recovery bonus of +1 because we won the stage, our first stage in outstanding stuff. So, in the next episode, we move on to stage number 6.
Today is a tiring route, where the closing kilometers should suit the punches, and an opportunity to lead the general classification. I'm counting on you to control breakaways and attacks, because we can blow things apart on the final climb and win the stage. Go! We're aiming for victory! Good race, guys!
So an important race for the classification is the next one. One sprint and a lot of climbs. A hell of a lot of climbs. So general classification really now becomes the most important. We will target that points classification with Dennis because he moved a hell of a lot in that stage. But no particular risks. It's a key stage for the classification. But only 7 of our men left. Gegenhardt is out. Wow. Should be an interesting stage though coming up next. And if you've enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like on the video. Comment your thoughts as well. And subscribe for daily Tour de France content in the next few weeks. Thank you for watching though. A brilliant stage. Our first stage win. And apart from that fall for a Grant Thomas, it was a stage of highs and lows. One of our men won the stage. One of our men went off the Tour. Absolutely gutted for Gegenhardt. But that's the way things go sometimes. Really, really unfortunate. But thank you for watching. I've been TIJ Gamer. Until tomorrow again at 1 PM. I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.